Hi, what's up guys? It's Will here for a kind of different video. I'm going to be looking ahead to UFC 251 and a matchup I'm really looking forward to, and it's going to be for the vacant UFC Bantamweight Championship of the World. As we've got the Siberian Gangster Petr Yan facing off against the former WEC, the former UFC featherweight champion in Jose Aldo. And this is just a matchup that I see, and I just really like it. You guys have heard me talk about Petr Yan since he came into the UFC. I said in my very first video, I think he will be in the top 10 of the rankings before, within the first year of him being in the company. And now within, say, probably 2 years, there's an opportunity there where he could become the UFC Bantamweight champion, which I think is one of the most deepest divisions the UFC really has. So I'm kind of just going to have a 5-10 minute video, kind of speak about this here, and just really looking forward to the matchup. Like I said, you've heard me talk about Petr Yan, you've heard me talk about Aldo, but I am a massive fan of Petr Yan. I just love what I see from him, an all-output fighter. I said in the video when he came into the UFC, I think he's a buzzsaw, and that's really been true to the case, what he's done in the UFC with his running through people and being very dominant. And there is some holes in his game that Aldo, I think, can exploit because he's a savvy veteran, and he will look to kind of counter, I think, someone like Petr Yan, who's obviously going to pressure him very, very hard, very much so. He's going to pressure him. And then you've got someone like Aldo here, who people are going, why is Jose Aldo getting this title shot, and why is he getting this opportunity over some of the other guys who've won fights? Could they not have waited till Sterling and Sandhagen was through? So on, so on. But I think it's smart on the part of the UFC because obviously Cejudo's went to the side. I don't think we've seen the last of Cejudo. I think there's too many good fights for him not to stay away. I think he will be back. He might be back at 145 facing Volkanovski, but I think if he was to come back at 135, there is so many good fights for him there. But when you look at this here, why they made Aldo, why did they make the Faber fight? Because they're building a fighter up in Petr Yan. Now, it might not be the hardest fight that he faces in the division, but it's a fight that he can take a lot from. It's the same with Cejudo when he faced Dominic Cruz, because he took out Demetrius Johnson, he took out TJ Dillashaw. You take out Dominic Cruz, you're taking out 3 of the most lineal champions at flyweight, you're taking out 2 of the best champions at bantamweight. That cements your legacy. And something like this, like Petr Yan beating a Faber. Now, I know he's not been a UFC champion, come back after retirement, but that's still a massive name in the lower weight divisions. He has been for many, many years, and he's a scalp for many, many fighters, and he just absolutely ran through Uriah Faber, and that was expected personally, because Faber, like I say, he retired, came back, got that win over Ricky Simon, and then he got handed the Petr Yan fight, which was just not a good fight to take. But now you're getting Jose Aldo, who's, when you look at the fights recently, he's lost 3 of his last 5. The last one against Moraes was close. I did think Moraes actually won that fight the couple of times that I have watched it back since. And his 2 wins in his last 5 fights are stoppages over Moicano and Stevens. And he's a guy that you cannot sit back and think that he's not going to be G'd up for this title fight, because at any instant he can hit you with his fast strikes and knock you out. You've seen that with the body shot over Stevens, where Stevens was having good spots in that fight. He was keeping it close, but then that body shot absolutely crumpled him. Then he ran through Moicano. I thought Moicano was going to give him some problems, and he took him out. He's a dangerous guy, a big guy at 145. And then obviously you're facing the guy who's now got the belt in Volkanovski. You've got Moraes, who's fought for the belt at 135. So he's fighting the best guys. He's losing to the best guys. I mean, Holloway, Volkanovski, Moraes. And I put Petr Yan in that kind of spot. I think he would beat someone like Marlon Moraes personally. I think he would just pressure him so much that he would gas, and Petr Yan would take him out, or he would win a pretty closely contested decision, but I would have him winning that fight. Then when you look at what Petr Yan, I mean, they did the right thing when they built him up. They gave him Ishihara off the bat, then they gave him Jinsu's son, Silva de Andrade, who I thought was going to give him a tough fight. Really absolutely ran through him with ease, absolutely bludgeoned that guy to death where he really didn't want to get off the stool. John Dodson, name guy, fought for a title, fought a couple of good guys, won the tough show, beat TJ Dillashaw, face Demetrius Johnson. Then you give him a staple of that 135 division in Jimmy Rivera, and kind of really nails down that he's a top 10 guy, absolutely, against your newer kind of breed fighters. And then you've got Uriah Faber, that old guard, which will get you name notoriety by beating a guy like Uriah Faber. And now that they've given Aldo, I like the fight. Obviously, when you look at the stats here, you've got someone like Aldo. I do think he's going to be pressured a lot in this fight. I do think he's going to be taking a back step. Always dangerous. Has some weapons there that can cause Petr Yan problems. Because, in my opinion, one of the biggest things that I don't like about Petr Yan is he gets hit a little bit too much. And you can never take away the kind of warrior spirit in someone like Aldo who can hurt you at many kind of opportunities of the fight. But where I do see him winning this fight is through that pressure. The come forward pressure of Petr Yan, where he kind of boxes you in, is so tough. And like, I thought Aldo actually looked very good on his weight cut to 135. That's something that I should mention. I thought he looked decent. I thought he didn't look emaciated. He didn't look great, obviously. If you're dropping down to a new division for the first time, it's not going to be great. But he didn't look bad. Fought a close fight. I did think Mariah's won there. He has got the reach advantage here, and he's probably got some leg kicks there, which I think that he needs to use. He needs to really pinpoint them well to try and keep someone like Petr Yan back, because he's going to be pressuring from the absolute get-go and ready to look to take Jose Aldo out. When you look at the strikes absorbed and the strikes landed per minute, you've got someone like Yan, 5.6 to 3.47 of Aldo. Now, there's a bit more. If you look at Aldo, he's fought a lot of the top guys. You're not going to be landing loads of amounts of strikes against the top guys. And both guys are pretty accurate with their striking. Pretty much a 50% clip of landing that. Both guys as well, they can absorb the same amount of strikes. If you look on UFCstats.com, you'll see all this here where they land, they absorb kind of more strikes. But when you look at the strikes that have been landed on Jose Aldo, they've been ones that have been concussive blows, knockout blows. The McGregor one, I don't think he's ever been the same since McGregor caught him. Then you had the output of Max Holloway putting it on him for the entirety of the fight and really hurting him and taking him out. And I think that he is hittable now. I think he is slowing down a little bit. I think he will slow down at 135. And when you've got a guy like Petr Yan, who's very, very good and very mobile, he will land a lot of strikes, I think, on someone like Jose Aldo. You look at the takedown defense, both guys, pretty good. The Aldo takedown defense is pretty much legendary at this point. Hard guy to get down. You don't see it very often. And then you've got someone like Yan who will go for takedowns, and he might not get them, but he will keep on going, he will persevere, and he will eventually get those takedowns. And both guys aren't really known for their kind of submission prowess here. So kind of how I see the fight going, I see, from the output, I see Petr Yan. I know he's been in Thailand, he's been getting ready for a big fight for a long time now, and he's got this opportunity in Abu Dhabi on an absolute stat card. So he might come out here and be the absolute star of the show. I think that's what he's going to be pushing to do, and come out here and absolutely bludgeon Jose Aldo to death. And I think he can do it. Not writing off Jose Aldo, absolutely not doing that. But I've been calling Petr Yan at least a top 5 guy, even before he was in the UFC. When he came in, I thought top 10 within a year. I never thought, honestly, 2 years down the line he might have a strap around his waist. But I thought one day he would definitely find a way to at least be in a title fight. You can never. There's not too many times that I've come out and said this guy's going to fight for a belt. The 2 guys that I have did it with, Stipe Miocic won a belt, and I said that Cody Garbrandt was going to win the belt. Yan, I thought, could get to a title fight because 135 is such a devastatingly hard division to get up there to the top tier. But I see Petr Yan winning this fight. I actually see him taking out Jose Aldo in the late rounds. I think 4 and 5 he's going to start to deplete. I think that Yan's going to keep on coming. And ultimately, I see Petr Yan TKOing Jose Aldo in the last part, probably round number 4 of their fight, round 4 or 5, and becoming the new UFC Bantamweight champion. Just wanted to talk about this fight a little bit because it's such a good fight and I'm really looking forward to it, and it's such a stacked card. 3 title fights, you got Ribas against Van Zandt, and the other good fights on the undercard. So just a little bit different, guys. If you like this, let me know down below. I'll maybe do more in the future. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. My UFC I versus Calvillo picks are out. The fights are tonight. Enjoy the fights when they come around, and all the very, very best. Take care.